Hello there, good morning and welcome to this, the WP Builds newsletter number 45. It covers the WordPress weekly news for the week commencing the 7th of January 2019, and it was published on Monday the 14th of January 2019. Just a couple of things before we begin. All of these URLs are wpbuilds.com/something. The first one is /subscribe. You can keep updated. We produce a podcast on a Thursday and this, the WordPress Weekly News, on a Monday. And if you subscribe via Messenger or Slack or the newsletter, we'll keep you updated of those at /subscribe. /advertise if you'd like to advertise on the podcast. We've got banner ads and we've got audio inserts. /deals if you fancy finding out if some of the plugins that you're hoping to buy are on our deals page. Go there and check it out. Maybe that you can get 20-30% off a particular product. /webinars. We've got one coming up this week with Laura Elizabeth from Client Portal. You can learn how that plugin works and how it might affect your business. And lastly, /contribute if you would like to come on the podcast with me, 20 minutes or less, showing something that you've done, something that you've achieved, that you think the rest of us might like to hear about. Doesn't have to be WordPress related, but it often is. The WP Builds newsletter is brought to you today by Kinsta. Are you tired of unreliable or slow hosting? If so, check out Kinsta, who takes managed WordPress hosting to the next level. Powered by the Google Cloud Platform, all their plans include PHP 7, SSH, and 24/7 expert support. Migrate today for free at kinsta.com. And we thank Kinsta for their support of WP Builds. Right, let's get on to the news itself. The first one today is on WordPress.org. It's to say that WordPress 5.0.3 has been released. It's a maintenance release. You've probably received it by now. A few of the highlights: there are 37 bug fixes, 7 performance improvements, and they go as follows. 15 block editor related bug fixes and improvements have been added. 2 block editor related internationalization bugs have been fixed. Users with JavaScript disables now see a notice when attempting to use the block editor. A few PHP errors in the customizer have been fixed, and so on. You can download it at your convenience. Okay, the next one is WordPress 5.1. Beta 1 has been announced. Obviously, it's beta software and you've got to have all of those caveats. I wouldn't use it on a development site, but if you want to go and check it out, you can go over to wordpress.org and find it there. Okay, the main event here, I suppose, is that it's going to be released on the 21st of February. That's the mooted date. And the main thing is the site health check. It says, Site health check is an ongoing project aimed at improving the stability and performance of the entire WordPress ecosystem. The first phase of this project is included in 5.1. For the first time, WordPress will catch and pause the problem code so you can log it in your dashboard and see what the problem is. Well, that's quite a nice fix, isn't it? And there's a whole bunch of things for developers as well in there, but I won't highlight them just now. The next one is to say that finally, with WordPress 5.1, the word blogging is being dropped, and instead we're using the word publishing now. Now, you probably knew that WordPress is no longer just a blogging tool, but it's now official. As of 5.1, they're going to start cleaning up so that things like happy blogging are replaced by happy publishing. There's an awful lot of documentation that will need to be changed, but you are now no longer a blogger. You are now a publisher, if you didn't know already. Okay, the next one is at make.wordpress.org, and it's all about Gutenberg. Gutenberg has had a release on the 7th of January. It's Gutenberg 4.8, and it goes as follows. There are a whole variety of performance improvements. There have been some enhancements, particularly to the mobile editing experience, heaps of bug fixes, and a lot of documentation added as well. And you can go and check this out. Seriously, it's like a bullet-pointed list of about 50 items, so I'm not going to go through them all. But needless to say, Gutenberg is being updated, and you can go and check out all of those bits and pieces by following the link in the show notes. This one is also off make.wordpress.org, and it's called Short-Term Track Milestone Ticket Triage Proposal. And this is all to do with the fact that there are approaching 500 open tickets in the 5.1 milestone and 55 open tickets in the 5.0.3 milestone. And the proposal is, it's a two-step proposal, basically to expunge a load of these tickets. Part 1, it says component maintainers and ticket owner assignees should scrub their tickets for the 5.1 milestone. When evaluating each ticket, the following factors should be weighed, and there's 4 bullet points there. So the idea really is that if you've got a ticket, go and see if it's still got, if it still has any purpose, and if not, basically get rid of it. And the second one is bulk edit. Once WordPress 5.1 beta is released, all remaining tickets in the 5.1 milestone will be moved to the future release milestone. The idea really here is that they want to just sort of slim this stuff down and get to the point where there's a manageable amount. So if you have any track tickets, go and check them out ASAP. Okay, the next one is on WP Tavern, and it's entitled WordPress Governance Project Flagged as Unsanctioned. First meeting set for the 15th of January. Well, the end of last year, I think it was at WordCamp US, a whole bunch of people got together, including Rachel Cherry and Morten Rand Hendrickson, and they decided that it would be a good idea to set up a governance project, and all seemed to be going well. The first meeting was supposed to have happened already, but it's been postponed to the 15th of January because the project itself has kind of been pulled. It's now no longer being officially recognized on WordPress.org. It felt for a while like it was going to be. We have this system at the moment where we have the word that kept being used in this article, it's not my words, is we have this sort of benevolent dictator system. And the article's very interesting because it goes in to say how over the years WordPress has been organized and who's been in charge of what and what level of authority they've had. Like, for example, for a certain period of time, the project lead could literally override everybody, and what they decided to go in would go in. And then we've had other periods of time where Matt himself has been the lead, and it feels like we're in that period again right now. And so it was felt that this project might be good, obviously using 33%, all websites on the internet really use 33% of them being used by WordPress. This felt like a good way of making sure that WordPress had a seat at the table when the open web the people important in the open web were making decisions. It's been shelved for now. You can, however, go to wp-governance.com, or you can join their Slack group at twgp.slack.com and get involved. And maybe, if enough people get involved, it will be pulled back into WordPress itself at some point in the future. I can't really say, but certainly very interesting. I'm going to, I think, sign up later today. Okay, the next one, again on WP Tavern, GitHub announces free unlimited private repositories. That kind of says it all. I think GitHub are following in the wake of their competitors, people like GitLab and so on. Now you can have free repositories, an unlimited amount of free repositories on GitHub, whereas before you had to pay for the Pro license, which I think ran to $7 a month, something like that. The caveat, I think, is that you're only allowed 3 other contributors to those projects, so it's not unlimited everything, but it's great. But maybe you've already moved over to a rival like Bitbucket or GitLab already. But that's interesting. I think a lot of people were worried because Microsoft had taken it over, and there was concern about whether commercialization would jump in and, who was getting access to the code and so on. But we'll see how that pans out. Okay, this next one is about the Breezy Page Builder. You can find this by following the link in the show notes. They've added support for MetaBox. Now, if you don't use MetaBox, it's a custom field plugin which enables you to add a load of custom fields to your custom post types. They already had support for things like ACF, pods, and toolset, and now because MetaBox is a popular plugin, they've added that support as well. And the article doesn't just announce that that's happened, it goes on and introduces how you can actually implement it. So it's a bit of a tutorial page as well. Okay, the next one is, again, a page builder related one. This is all about Elementor and the fact that during this week they announced that they had acquired Layers WP, or Layers was a popular WordPress theme company, and it's been acquired by Elementor. I'm not 100% sure how this is all going to shake out, but the idea being that they've made all of the themes available under that company free and 100% compatible with Elementor. It looks like they're not going to develop any more features within those themes for now, but they're going to be compatible, so that gives you and your Elementor sites an instant boost in what you can do. We'll see how that develops again over time. Right, the next one is all about local by Flywheel. Local by Flywheel. I did a video this week, actually. If you go onto the WP Builds demos section, you can find them there on our YouTube channel. Local by Flywheel is an app that you can install on your Mac or PC, and it enables you to develop locally. Well, they have add-ons, and the guys at Flywheel have decided that they're going to allocate $1 million for the development of add-ons. The idea being that if lots and lots of nice new add-ons come around, it might be that, I guess, Local by Flywheel will become kind of like a really good platform to develop on, because there'll be loads of workflows included in these add-ons. So if that's the kind of thing that you're into, you can apply for funding, you build them, and then hopefully you'd get paid if you win one of those grants. But we'll see how that develops. I use it quite a lot and I've had no problems with it, but a lot of the people in the Facebook group this week responding to my, well, I couldn't really call it a tutorial, my video post, said that they've really had lots of problems with it, so that's intriguing. Okay. If you're a Jetpack user, this article off the WP Tavern website might be interesting. Jetpack 6.9 introduces new blocks. There's a subscription block, a related posts block, and a tiled gallery block. Not much more to say. You can add your subscription form, you can add a tiled gallery, and so on. And it looks like they've also reintroduced the short link, the wp.me short links as an option as well. So if you're a Jetpack user, that might be for you. Next one is IThemes. IThemes are a vendor of security, amongst other things, and they've got this security plugin, IThemes Security, and it's been quite hard to really know what's been going on. Obviously, the idea is it protects you, but you don't really get a lot of feedback apart from an email, and you've got to really inspect the logs. So they've introduced this thing called the Dynamic Security Dashboard, and it's a real-time dashboard. And it looks a little bit like the WordPress admin dashboard in that you can drop these cards in and view information about your WordPress site security in real time. The card names are malware scans, user security profiles, user security profile, don't quite know what the difference is there, active logouts, lockouts, banned users, brute force attacks, trusted devices, 404s, database backups, and update summary. And you need to go into your WP admin area, go to IThemes Security and enable this. It's called Security Dashboard in the IThemes Security settings, and then you just populate your dashboard with the cards that you want. I think it's quite a nice feature. I think it's going to be widely used by people who have that. I do, and so I will be making use of it, but it's new, and so I'm alerting you to it. Okay, the last WordPressy one this week is off the deliciousbrains.com website, and it's basically a list of conferences to do with JavaScript, WordPress, and PHP. The big ones are WordCamp Europe, WordCamp US, local webcamps, Pressnomics, WordSesh, and there's a whole bunch of JavaScript and PHP conferences as well. So if you like going to conferences, particularly in the WordPress space, that one is maybe one for you to look at. Okay, one piece of non-WordPress news. This is from the WP Tavern website, but it links straight out to another website, and it's that Google has launched opensource.dev, an introduction to open source. And really, this is a website which tries to educate you about all things open source. So, for example, about the licensing model and about what it all means, who's involved in it, how do you maintain things, and so on and so forth. So, definitely worth looking at. There was a thread in the WP Builds Facebook group this week about this very thing, and it didn't exist, and now it does, and it's there to answer all of your what is open source questions. So that's brilliant. Thank you, Google, for doing that. Okay, thank you for listening to the podcast once again. I hope you've enjoyed it. The WP Builds newsletter was sponsored this week by Kinsta. Kinsta takes managed WordPress hosting to the next level. Powered by the Google Cloud Platform, your site is secured like Fort Knox and runs on speed, obsessive architecture. You get access to the latest software and developer tools such as PHP 7, SSH, and staging environments. And the best part, their expert team of WordPress engineers are available 24/7 if you need help. You can migrate today for free at kinsta.com. And we thank Kinsta for their support of the WP Builds newsletter. Right, I'll see you on the podcast on Thursday, and if not, catch you next Monday for next week's news. Bye-bye.